I have strength to meet the moments.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living Love Stream. I'm Gina DiGirolamo. I'm going to be directing and hosting and trying to do some stuff here in the background for everybody. This is really exciting for us. This is our first time using this platform where we're going to actually be able to have our wonderful musician guest today, Mark Stanton Welch. We're going to be able to bring in Charley for the reading, and of course, Reverend Elizabeth and Travis are going to be doing some amazing things in just a moment. So please share this post. It will go live to whoever you share it with right now. And, somebody out there needs to have a really uplifting message today. So we're so happy you joined us. So I'm going to let Mark take it away with a little prelude music for us.
I have strength to meet the moments life lays in my hands, and through this pain I grow, I learn to take each step I can. Now all my thoughts, my words, my actions, they serve to keep me strong. Spirit triumphs over matter. Strength is my song. Strength is my song. Oh, I have strength to meet the moments life lays in my hands. And through this pain I grow, I learn to take each step I can. Now all my thoughts, my words, my actions, they serve to keep me strong. Spirit triumphs over matter. Strength is my song. Strength is my song. Strength is my song.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mark. Woohoo!
Yay!
All right. Welcome to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. This service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. We're so glad that you joined us here today, and I am so grateful that we have so many different people that are going to be piping into this service. We hope you enjoy it, and blessings to you. We have an affirmation, and I invite you to please repeat after me. Use me, sweet spirit.
Use me, sweet spirit.
I stand for you, and here I'll abide.
I stand for you, and here I'll abide.
As you show me all that I must do.
As you show me all that I must do.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And now Travis will come up and introduce our musician for today.
Good morning, everybody. We miss you so much. It is our great pleasure to bring to you today Mark Stanton Welch. He is a local legend here on the Central Coast of California. He's a prolific songwriter, and his music ministry is strong. He's got a lot of curriculum, New Thought curriculum, and spiritually uplifting music on his website. So after this feed and after this live stream, after you've been introduced to Mark, I invite you to visit his webpage to check out some of his music and maybe support him through some purchase. And without further ado, I give you Mark Stanton Welch.
Thank you, Travis. Nicely done. Here we are. It is all perception, isn't it? Here we go. Every step I take, it's the best one. Every move I make, it's the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep a knowing I'm always on the bright side. The sunny light side, every step I take, it's the best one. Every move I make, it's the best one. Life will keep rolling, and just keep knowing that I'm always on the bright side. The sunny light side, sunshine. I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. One more time I say, every breath I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep rolling if I just keep knowing I'm always on the bright side. The sunny light side, every step I take is the best one. Every move I make is the best one. Life will keep rolling if I just keep knowing I'm always on the bright side. The sunny light side. Come on now, here we go. We say sunshine. I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Let's bring it home, little sunshines. Come on now. Sunshine. I'm always in sunshine. I make my own sunshine. Yeah.
Spirit fingers. All right, Mark.
Thank you.
Love you, man. Okay, good morning, CSL.
Good morning, Travis.
That's right. My name is Travis, and I'm your announcements angel. I will now read our mission statement. With everything we do, we aim to raise the vibe. We teach innovative spiritual practices and principles that inspire deeper love of self and others, transformation, a closer relationship with God, freedom from suffering, expansive joy, prosperity, and healing of the body, mind, and spirit. We are a conscious group of positive, inspired, spiritually motivated individuals transforming lives. We just happen to have a spiritual center. Want to check us out?
Yeah!
Woohoo! We're glad you're here. Please join us for coffee and conversation at 11 a.m. via Zoom. Gina will provide the link in the comment section here, and you can also find it on our center's webpage in the coffee and conversation event. And then wanted to point out, we build our immunity and spiritual community daily. So remember to join us for a Zoom call Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. for our spiritual community check-in. You can find the link in our Facebook page under events and in our newsletter. We have an awesome class starting Tuesday, April 21st. What is true for me about who I am? This curriculum was written by retired minister Reverend Jane Beach, and we are blessed to be offering it to you as our gift. Class meets for 8 Tuesdays from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. via Zoom, and is facilitated by Reverend Diane Davison, the Assistant Spiritual Director for Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. No fee, but love offerings are accepted. There's no book required, no prerequisites. You sign up by emailing us at info@cccSL.org, and we will email you the student workbook and the Zoom details. Our annual meeting for the center will be held via Zoom next Sunday, April 26th at 1 p.m. Details on the event is on our Facebook page. And lastly, if you're able, please remember to continue to donate to our center during this unique time. Our operations are fully supported by your generosity, and we're looking forward to gathering at our physical center in the future. You can donate here on Facebook Live with the donate button. Gina will also provide a PayPal link to donate in the comments section. You can also visit our landing page, webpage, and click the donate link at the center of the page. Thank you for your consideration. We love you. I love you. We miss you. We can't wait to see you. And thank you so much for being here on our love stream.
Woohoo! All right. And so while Charley is making his way into our Streamyard here to do our reading, I would like to remind you that you can submit a prayer request by emailing us at info@cccsl.org, and our ecclesiastical team will pray over your prayer for the next week. And now, Charley.
Good day, everybody. Live from Atascadero, here I am. This is all from Ernest Holmes' book, Journey into Life. And I have a section on guidance. I think we could all use a little guidance now. I know I sure could. God answers every request at the level of the thought that makes the request. When the scientist listens, the artist imagines, the mathematician calculates, or the poet waits for the muse to guide his fancy into words. All are praying for divine guidance. Each in their own sphere of action receives as much guidance as they are capable of perceiving. We may be surrounded by divine wisdom, love, and intelligence, and still lack divine guidance. Not that we lack the ability to accept it, for that is the gift of God, forever made and forever delivered, but that we lack the perception of this guidance and its operation through us. To feel that a presence greater than we are is guiding us is normal. To trust the presence is sanity. To desire that the divine shall express itself in our mind and project itself through our thought is to be receptive to a greater side of our nature that lies open to us. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Charley. So I'm going to take my director hat off for a moment and invite all of you to take a breath wherever you are, whether you're joining us from your living room or somewhere outside. If you're by yourself, know that you're not alone. And let's just all close our eyes together, take a deep breath in, and just ground in the space where you're at, knowing that there is only one God and one divine energy, and I'm claiming that as the truth. I know it to be so. And I know that you know that with me. And as we know that there is one Spirit and one God, we know that that God is in each and every one of us. And as Reverend Elizabeth would say, not like jelly is in a jelly donut, but we are God. We are expressions of God. And we are much more than this physical presence that we are. Therefore, our energy is connected right now, right here. Whether you're watching live or you're watching a replay and it's hours later, just know that there is no time and there is no space. There is only unity. There's only one presence, and it is a loving presence. So I just know, I know that there is greatness happening as me right now. And if it's true for me, it's true for all of us. It's true for each one of you watching right now. I'm holding your hand. We're all together. We're smiling at each other. We could see each other's faces. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I just know that this love stream is divinely guided. It's been created by God. We just came in and said, okay, God, what do you want us to do? And we started learning the tools and doing it. And you can do that too. God wants you to do something. God is working through you, as you, in a new way. And God is speaking through Reverend Elizabeth today to each one of us. And it's so incredible. We're so blessed to have this technology, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for this community that is growing and expanding much more than we ever thought. We are reaching beyond the boundaries and the confines of our little beautiful building in Templeton. We're reaching across the land, across the planet. And it's so beautiful, it's so wonderful. I'm so grateful. So just know that with me. Know that we are not being less connected, but more connected, and be grateful for it. So I could just release these words now, knowing that Spirit is driving this train, and we just do our part. And together we all say, and so it is.
Hello, beloveds. Stay tuned, and we'll have our musician Mark back with us here momentarily. Hi again. Gina, it's time for Mark to do his next song. In the meantime, hey, here we go.
And there you are. Okay. Is my mic? I'm on? Okay. Okay, here we go. It is springtime, and what a beautiful prayer that was. And a powerful prayer as well. And a true prayer. But this spring is going to happen no matter what. And even though the situation's going on with us humans, things are happening anyway. And the beauty is out there. The beauty is in here. And we have this unique opportunity to go within to create the kind of shift and change and lay down the burdens that have long been a part of many lives. And as we make these changes, the world will come along with us. Time to be singing, time to be dancing. All the people sing hallelujah. Voices together, hearts are wide open. Love reigns upon us right here, right now. Now spring sings a new life, a rainbow of color, fragrance and beauty and love all around. Stand up and let go, set your intention. Freedom, power, right here, right now. Lay down crosses and burdens, peel the worn out garments, let them fall to the ground. Lay down crosses and burdens, resurrection, resurrection, let spirit resound. So release the pressure and release the stresses, release the thinking, my friends, break away. Reclaim your power, reclaim your essence, reclaim your birthright right here, right now. Lay down crosses and burdens, peel the worn out garments, let them fall to the ground. Lay down crosses and burdens, resurrection, resurrection, let spirit resound. So yes to the freedom, yes to the power, yes to the love I am right here, right now. Come on now. Yes to the freedom, yes to the power, and yes to the love I am right here, right now. I say yes to the freedom, and yes to the power, yes to the love I am right here, right now. And so it is.
Yay! Thank you so much, Mark.
You're so welcome.
Beautiful. How wonderful. Are you guys having fun yet or what? Wow. So this is a new thing for us. And I'm so grateful that we are each able to be flexible. And my work today is to trust and surrender. And so I'm continuing to trust and surrender as we move through this service. And it's so great to be with you here today. We're blessed, aren't we? Now, I wanted to begin today by sharing with you some of my reflections on sheltering in place, and you might be able to relate. So I used to spin the toilet paper like I was on Wheel of Fortune. But now I turn it like I'm unlocking a safe very, very carefully. I don't know about you, but I really need to practice social distancing from the refrigerator. Boom, boom. And a public service announcement. Every few days, try on your jeans just to make sure that they fit. Your pajamas will have you think that all is well is in the kingdom when it's not. Remember to try on those jeans every few days. Hey, I hear that homeschooling is going really well. Have you heard that too? 2 students were suspended for fighting, and 1 teacher was fired for drinking on the job. Oh. So I went to this restaurant called The Kitchen. It's this interesting new concept. You have to gather all of the ingredients yourself and then make your own meal. I don't know how this place is still in business. Travis is in the background laughing or not laughing. I'll be here all week, folks. Yes, don't forget to tip your servers. And I'm so excited. It's time to pick up the mail. What should I wear? And lastly, I hope the weather is good tomorrow for my trip to Puerto Vallarta. That about sums it up, right? So in SLO County, my understanding is that we have another week of shelter, or another couple of, a month of sheltering in place. So through May 16th, I believe. And so here we are. By now, we've all pretty much grown accustomed to this time in our homes and what it all means, and prayerfully we're adjusting quite well, and we continue to send our prayers and our love out to the essential workers and everyone who's doing such great work for us while we get to stay comfortably well in our homes. So the topic today, my friends, is surviving and thriving in pandemic, part 1. Now, it's really moving from survival to thrival in a pandemic. And first of all, there's a huge difference between surviving and thriving. To survive means to continue to live or exist, especially in spite of danger or hardship. Thrive, however, means to prosper, be fortunate or successful, to grow or develop vigorously, to flourish. Now, you might be asking yourself, is it possible to thrive in the midst of a pandemic? And is it okay for me to thrive when others are suffering? Yes, and yes. It is possible to thrive, and we're going to begin our thriving or continue our thriving on whatever you're at in this moment through staying awake in consciousness. Now, it is more than okay for you to thrive while others are suffering, because there's always more than one thing happening at once. We can hold multiple realities at once, can we not? In other words, there are people suffering and we're in the midst of a pandemic, but that doesn't mean that we're going down with the ship, so to speak. We are called as spiritual beings having a human experience to stand up, to rise up as I talked about last week in resurrecting the thing itself and returning to that light that lives within us, and knowing that that is rising up and using that resurrecting power in all that we think and say and do, so we can empathize with others and hold them close to our hearts. We can be there for them as they grieve, and we can consider how we might be of service to others during this time. And we can generously share our resources and offer loving kindness and care as we thrive. And so if you think about it, for our friends and loved ones and people we don't even know who might be suffering, they're actually counting on the people who are not suffering in the moment to continue to prosper, and so that when they are no longer suffering, they are back in the game with us all. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
So I wanted to share with you a lockdown reading. And I may have shared this before. It's just so powerful, though. Yes, there is fear. Yes, there is isolation. Yes, there is panic buying. Yes, there is sickness. Yes, there is even death. But they say that in Wuhan, after so many years of noise, you can hear the birds again. They say that after just a few weeks of quiet, the sky is no longer thick with fumes. but blue and gray and clear. They say that in the streets of Assisi, people are singing to each other across the empty squares, keeping their windows open so that those who are alone may hear the sounds of family around them. They say that a hotel in the west of Ireland is offering free meals and delivery to the housebound. Today, a young woman I know is busy spreading flyers with her phone number throughout the neighborhood so that the elders may have someone to call upon. Today, churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples are preparing to welcome and shelter the homeless, the sick, the weary. All over the world, people are slowing down and reflecting. All over the world, people are looking at their neighbors in a new way. All over the world, people are waking up to a new reality, to how big we really are, to how little control we really have, to what really matters, to love. So we pray and we remember that yes, there is fear, but there does not have to be hate. Yes, there is isolation, but there does not have to be loneliness. Yes, there is panic buying, but there does not have to be meanness. Yes, there is sickness, but there does not have to be disease of the soul. Yes, there is even death, but there can always be a rebirth of love. Wake to the choices you make as to how to live now, today. Breathe. Listen behind the factory noises of your panic. The birds are singing again. The sky is clearing. Spring is here. And we are always, always encompassed by love. So open the windows of your soul, and though you may not be able to touch across the empty square, sing. Oh, I just love that. So in our daily Zoom check-in calls, I continue to ask the question of what are you noticing? And I invite you to keep asking yourself that question. What am I noticing? What am I noticing about myself, about others, the world, the pandemic, and so forth? What am I noticing? And this past week, we've really been present to the need to feel our feelings. We've all been feeling our feelings, feeling them intensely, and they do come along intensely these days, rather than pretending like we're not having them. Because I truly believe that it is in the feeling of our feelings that we can take a deeper look into our thought patterns and grow spiritually and emotionally. So feelings are created by our thoughts, and thoughts are or the thoughts being fed to us by others. So feelings are created by our thoughts or the thoughts that are being fed to us by others. Like, for example, the news or our family members, our friends, and so forth. So have you noticed, though, that feelings pass by? Just as thoughts pass by, they do not come to stay. They're transient in their nature. And if the thoughts that come are like clouds passing in the sky, then I like to imagine that the feelings are like the rain in the clouds. And those are the rain clouds, and it rains, but that also passes by. It hasn't come to stay, right? So feel your feelings. And when those feelings pass, see if you can look back to identify the thoughts that you had that created those feelings in the first place. So, for example, all of us are likely having thoughts of this manner, or have had them, or maybe you will have them going forward, at one point or another, but there's thoughts of uncertainty. What's going to happen? Will the economy bounce back? And then there's unanswerable questions. When will this be over? When can I travel again? When will it be safe for me to go out and gather with groups of 10 or more again? And then there's concern. Am I going to be okay? Are my friends and family going to be okay? I wish you were over here, Travis. And then there's the unknown. What will life be like on the other side of this pandemic? What will it be like? And actually, all of these are unanswerable questions. And so these particular thoughts lead to feelings of fear, worry, and anxiety. So we're called to feel these feelings fully and know that as we feel them and we place all of our attention, all of our awareness upon them, they will pass. That is their nature. And I truly believe that on the other side of these feelings is your new hope, my friends. It is the ground of infinite possibility and pure potentiality. The great mystery I call God is waiting for you to notice it just on the other side of those feelings. And so let them come, feel them, let them pass. And then on the other side, ask the question, where did that come from? Is that something that I generated? Or was it something from the news or a friend or a family member? And the purpose of doing this is for us to get really clear. And it's just a good practice for people in our teaching in the science of mind. We get to investigate our thought patterns and recognize what's creating the feelings, right? And so that is a powerful tool for you to use. So again, ask yourself the question, what am I noticing? And number 2, feel your feelings and then trace them back to the thoughts that you had which created them. Now, you can ask yourself, from where did that come? So what happens to us when we're in crisis is that we hear the words, we feel the feelings, we witness the behaviors and actions of others, which touches a part of us. Right? Yeah. For example, before the shelter-in-place order came through, I remember being out shopping, and you may have had this experience as well. And suddenly there was no toilet paper available. And I thought it was so weird. And everybody was sort of talking about how strange it was that there was no toilet paper. But when I had this moment for myself out in the stores and I saw that the toilet paper was gone, I thought, what happened here? Why is there no toilet paper? And, I just thought, what's happening? So then I was trying to imagine what was going through people's minds, causing them to need all this toilet paper. And it occurred to me that people are afraid that there's not going to be toilet paper pretty soon. And so they're panic buying. And then if everyone is panic buying, the next thought in survival mode is like, well, what's going to happen to me? And then that's how it kicks in, right? Your survival instinct suddenly kicks in so easily. The next thing you know, you're buying piles and piles of toilet paper that you'll never even use in your lifetime. And then you're left wondering, what happened? What have I done? So asking yourself, where did that thought come from is powerful. Maybe it came from the news channel you've been watching excessively. Have any of you been watching excessive news? Maybe, maybe not. You don't have to admit it here. I can't hear you anyway. I heard Michael Bernard Beckwith say something awesome, though. He called the news a weapon of mass distraction. And that is so poignant. It's a weapon of mass distraction. He said, don't allow yourself to be pulled by the distraction of the news telling you what to believe about everything, right? Don't allow yourself to be pulled by these news outlets, the media that is trying to get your attention to have you believe one thing over the other. And that is what's creating the fear and the ongoing experience of that. So be present and don't be pulled by that weapon of mass distraction. So as I said, at this time, the shelter in place order is in effect for San Luis Obispo through May 16th. That's one more month. We've been sheltering in place for 1 month now, and we have about another month to do so. What a rich time this is for us. What fertile ground for growth, yes? Now, I invite you in this moment to cross your hands over your body and give yourself a hug. Just like this. Just give yourself a hug and acknowledge yourself for adapting acknowledge yourself for being flexible and adjusting as needed for such a time as this. Feel that love and just allow yourself to receive your own love and God's love. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm reminded of a member of our community, Karen Roberts. She may be watching now, but she places her hand over her heart and invites you to breathe. So she says, hand over heart, breathe. And it is so beautiful. You can do this as a blessing for yourself and for the world. But I like to also place a hand over my solar plexus. So I have my hand over my heart and then over my solar plexus, which is down around my tummy. You can't see. But the solar plexus is the energy center of our personal power and governs our self-esteem, warrior energy, and the power of transformation. While the heart chakra gives empathy and compassion, and it's responsible for your ability to forgive and accept. It's also the chakra in charge of changes and transformation. With the heart chakra open, you're able to grieve properly and attain peace and tranquility. Thank you, Karen. I see her commenting. Hand over heart, breathe. Yes, it's a beautiful tool to use. So the first was ask yourself the question, what am I noticing? Number 2, feel your feelings and then trace them back to the thoughts you had which created them. And then number 3, ask yourself, where did that thought come from? Me, my friends and family, or the weapon of mass distraction? Love that. And the 4th is, whatever discomfort that you are feeling, ask yourself what it is here to teach you. What is it disrupting? What is the divine disruption that is trying to happen right now in my own consciousness? And how might this discomfort be in service to my evolution? So I'm going to repeat that. Whatever discomfort you are feeling, either right now or at any moment as we continue to move through our sheltering in place order and through the pandemic, whatever discomfort you feel, ask yourself, what is this discomfort here to teach me? What is it disrupting? And how might this discomfort be in service to my evolution? Number 5 is get into service. Get into service. That's so easy, you guys. Get into service. That means as simple as calling a friend. Calling a friend not because you're lonely, calling a friend just to be reaching out and expressing love. Just by reaching out to somebody is just saying, I'm here. It's saying that I'm available. You're not alone. And it's also good for ourselves, saying that we're not alone. We can reach out to people, right? Call a friend, make some masks, bring a gift, right? Bring your gift out into the world. Now is the time, my friends. Now is the time to bring your gift. So we are all here. It's so amazing that we're here together for this time, for such a time as this, right? Like we were born, there is something that happened that birthed us into existence, this thing I called God, and it birthed us into existence to be together and to be around during this pandemic together. There are no accidents, right? And so what is it? What is my gift to bring in this time? What am I to do? Who am I to be? How am I to continue to show up? So getting into service is a beautiful, beautiful way for you to step out of your feelings of negativity or the overwhelm from the ongoing stimulus or stimulation you're getting from the news or media, right? Now, getting into service, speaking of that, I want to share about our beloved Gina DiGirolamo. So she has been getting into service, and she's really bringing her gift of cinematography, and she is producing this show today. Oh, it's a show now, I guess. This service. She's producing this service, and it's so amazing. So this is a special software that she purchased and trained herself and learned how to use, and has set up all of the back end tech stuff and dialed people in, and so she's in the background switching the screens when it's time for another person to talk and all of that, right? So she is bringing this similar gift to the Heart of Paso, which is her sharing or interviewing with local business owners in Paso Robles on how they are dealing with this pandemic and what they are doing. It's such a beautiful gift. So thank you, Gina, for sharing that gift with the world in that way, and for being an example, for being a leader within our community and being an example of being in service. Whether you're getting paid for that or not, you're sharing your gift, and you are bringing what you love into the world. And it is so amazing. Let's give her a round of applause.
We love you, Gina.
I love you, Gina. All right. And so the next person that I want to bring up, a couple of people, are Alexandra Berg and Mama Jody Burton, because these two are bringing their gifts in their own unique way as making masks. So they've got fabric and they're doing their part, and this is something that they love to do. They like to sew, and so they're doing that. And I saw some of the fabric that Alexandra had, and it looks really fun. I was like, I want one of those. Anyway, they're not for me. There are people who really need those. And she might be making me one, though. And there are others in our community who are being in service by making financial contributions, financial donations to local businesses who are in need, and so forth. So what is your gift, and how might you express it? How are you bringing it, right? So we have Reverend Diane Davison, who is bringing her gift of ministry into teaching a class on Tuesday evenings, which is fabulous. Tuesday mornings, 10:30 to 12:30. And that is beautiful. So how might you be of service? How might you be of service right now? Now, there is an awesome graphic that has been going around, and you have probably already seen it. And maybe we can have Gina put a link to it in the comments. And if not, then I will post it to our Facebook page later. So this graphic, I don't know exactly who created it. I think it was a university perhaps. But the graphic is, who do I want to be during COVID-19? And it's a great depiction of the different stages. See if I can show it to you. This is how it looks. Yeah, there you go. Oops. So that's how it looks. And you can look that up. Just look up, who do I want to be during COVID-19? Now, the stages of this are magnificent, and it's really something that we are moving through different stages. You know, we've moved through some, and now we're in another, and we may continue to move in and out of them, just like those four kingdoms of consciousness that I talk about on Sundays. That is fluid, right? So you're moving in and out depending on the situation and what's going on for you in your life. But this one is really, really powerful. So who do I want to be during COVID-19? You've got the fear zone, the learning zone, and the growth zone. So in the fear zone, it involves hoarding food, toilet paper and medicines that you don't need. It is involving complaining all the time, or transmitting anger and fear related emotions out to others, forwarding all messages to others. How many of you have received some emails or messages about what's going on, and how to do this and how to do that, and it feels like a fearful based action? So that's living in the fear zone. I'm sure none of you are in there, but maybe at first we had an experience of this fear, and that's okay too. So then there's the learning zone. In the learning zone, in this space, this is where you stop compulsively consuming things that harm you. And by that, I mean everything from food to the news. You're just done consuming things compulsively which harm you. And then you begin to let go of things that are out of your control. And I don't know about you, but it's a constant letting go, right? For me, it's a constant letting go, and remembering there are some things I can't control and there are some things that I can, and I'm going to harness that power and allow myself to thrive by focusing on the things which I can control, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. And so in the learning zone, you're identifying your emotions, right? Feeling our feelings, identifying our feelings, and you're making yourself aware of the situation at hand and thinking about the best way to act. And you are oh, Gina just put the graphic up. Fabulous. Thank you. You're making yourself aware of the situation and the best way to act, and verifying information before you share it, which is a huge one. Verify it before you share it. Trust but verify. And then acknowledging, this is my favorite, acknowledging that everyone is trying their best, and actually really knowing that everyone is doing the best that they can with what they have. And the only person that you can control the behaviors of is yourself. Now, moving into the growth zone, which is that outer circle that you see there, the light blue. This is where you find a purpose. You find a purpose. So Gina found her purpose, for example, in the heart of Paso. Gina found her purpose in multiple ways, and Mama Jody and Alexandra found their purpose in making masks. And I'm sure you've all found a purpose in whatever way that you are. These are just examples, not to discount anybody out there in the community. But if you don't particularly know yours yet, what is it? What is it? Who have you come here to be? What gift have you to share with the world? For Travis, he's sharing his music and his beautiful inspiration and his cooking in our household. I don't know what we would do without you, honey. Thank you. So in this growth zone, you find a purpose. You think of how you can help others. How can I help others? I use my skills to service the ones in need, right? I use my skills to service the ones in need. Maybe in your living environment, in your neighborhood, there are some elderly folks who might need some help with groceries. And so you happen to have a car and you're in perfect health. You're not vulnerable health-wise. So maybe you can go and shine your light that way. And what just came up for me again was, I think it was like the first week of the shelter in place that Gina DiGirolamo, picked up some donuts and brought these donuts over to the local Vons or a grocery store in the area. And she was wearing her mask and gloves and she had sanitizer, and she brought these donuts in, and just being that light and bringing that love and raising the vibe is so beautiful, right? So using your skills to service the ones in need, right? And then showing empathy to myself and others. Empathizing, right? Empathizing with yourself and others. Living in the present and focusing on the future. But I really prefer, living in the present more so, like being in the present moment and then considering what you're creating in the future, yes? So I keep myself emotionally happy and transmit hope. I show gratefulness. I find ways to adapt to changes. And I practice calmness, patience, relationships, and creativity. So those are all part of the growth zone, my friends. Our call to action is actually what I'm inviting us all to do. And this is to do what is necessary to move into and stay in the growth zone for the duration of our cocoon experience. I feel like a flight attendant. Please fasten your seatbelt and move into the growth zone for the duration of this flight. Okay. So something that's also been keeping me in alignment with my highest self is recognizing what I can and cannot control. But I'm going to stop for a moment and share a couple of other things that are in my spiritual toolkit, my spiritual survival kit. And one of them is this beautiful image that I got from Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis, and this is her artwork. And so this is Mother Mary, and she's looking up, and there's a peace dove, and it's beautiful. So this is such a great reminder for me to look up, because as we look up, we are moved into a different state of consciousness. And another powerful piece in my spiritual survival kit is this string of mala beads. This is 108 mala beads, and it comes in very handy. And the third that I recommend you get, if you don't already have one of these, is the Science of Mind textbook. This has been so powerful for me. I can just open this textbook at any time and read from it. And actually I've committed. I have a new commitment to read through this whole book. So those are some of the tools that you should have in your spiritual survival kit. Now, going back to recognizing what I can and cannot control. I cannot control the following things, and therefore I can let go. I cannot control if others follow the rules of social distancing. I cannot control the actions of others. I cannot control the predictions of what will happen. I cannot control other people's motives. I cannot control the amount of toilet paper at the store, or how long this will last, or how others react. The few things I can control and what I will continue to focus on are my positive attitude, how I follow the CDC recommendations and the recommendations of our governance, my own social distancing. I can control turning off the news, limiting my social media. I can control my kindness and grace. And I can also control finding fun things to do at home. So in closing, I invite you to ask yourself the question and continue to ask the question, what am I noticing? What am I noticing? Number 2 is to feel your feelings and then trace those feelings back to the thoughts you had that created them. And then ask yourself, from where did that thought come? My dad was just calling. Never fails, you know. Come on, Dad. Pardon me. So feel your feelings and then trace them back to the thoughts you had that created them. Ask yourself, from where did that thought come? Whatever discomfort you are feeling, ask what it is here to teach you. What is it disrupting? And how might this discomfort be in service to my evolution? Number 5 is get into service. What is your gift and how might you express it? Ask yourself, who do I want to be during COVID-19? And then be it. So as I draw to a close, I'm going to invite Travis to get ready for the prayer. And this concludes Surviving and Thriving in Pandemic Part 1, which is really moving from survival to thrival. And there's a huge difference between surviving and thriving. Survive means to continue to live or exist, especially in spite of danger or hardship, where thrive means to prosper, to be fortunate or successful, to grow or develop rigorously, and to flourish. And yes, it's okay for you to prosper during this time. And yes, it's possible. So I invite you in this moment to commit to thriving right now and going forward. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Can I get an and so it is?
And so it is.
Wonderful. Now do whatever is necessary for you to move into and stay in the growth zone for the duration of your cocoon experience. Stay awake, my friends. Don't go back to sleep. Remember, your consciousness makes a difference, and stay strong in the spirit. Let's pray. So join me as we turn our attention inward and return to this beautiful, expansive space within, which is the space where I absolutely know that God is all that there is. It's all that there ever was and all that there ever will be. And I'm so grateful in this moment to remember the truth of my life, which is that, yes, there is one thing happening here and now, and it is God. And God is always here. It can never leave me. I may take my attention off of it, but it has never left. And I'm so grateful to know that the spirit that lives within me is the same spirit that lives within all of us. And we are so very blessed and guided by this divine light. We are so cared for. And so for those of us who have the great comfort of sheltering at home, I know that we take this opportunity to grow. We take this opportunity to find our moments of discomfort and allow ourselves to recognize the divine disruption that is wanting to take place. It's like the thing itself tapping you on the shoulder saying, look at this, look at this, be not afraid and look at this. And so as we look at that, something opens up. There's an opening, and there is a welcoming in of the light, and there is more light to be given, more light to be shined, more light to be shared. And we can share this light, we can receive this light and allow it to lift us up. And as we are lifted, our friends and family are also lifted, and everyone we know is also lifted, and we continue to raise this vibration by standing in the light of who we are and who we know ourselves to be. And so I'm grateful for each one of us standing in the growth zone and finding our way and using that as our roadmap for the duration of our time in this cocoon together. And that includes thinking of others and discovering how you can help, making your talents available to those who need them, living in the present and focusing on the now, creating the future, being empathetic with self and others, finding that purpose, keeping a healthy emotional state, looking for a way to adapt, practicing quietude, patience in your relationships, and creativity. And in all of this, we feel the presence of God. We feel the presence of love like we've never felt it before. Something magnificent is happening. Something wonderful is happening as me right here and right now. And it is God, and it is so very good. I believe that this is for us. We have been altered by this pandemic of COVID-19. We have been transformed. And on the other side, we are going to be amazing as individuals, as communities, as states, and as a nation, as the world. Humanity is united like never before. And it's a blessing and a gift. And so for this and so much more, I give thanks. I know that as we go forward from here, we are guided and we are lifted into the light. We are lifted into the joy and the harmony and the peace and the presence and connection that we long for in our hearts. We share our gifts. We share our love with others. We share it without abandon. We share it without needing to hold on to it. There's so much more to give. And so thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to shine my light. Thank you for allowing everyone here to shine their light bright. I'm so grateful for the gifts. I'm so grateful for the gifts that we can see and that we acknowledge in this moment, and the gifts that are on their way, the things that we don't even know about. Something wonderful is happening, and I relax into cheerful expectancy and joyful anticipation for my good and the good of all. In great gratitude, I release this prayer out into that loving and creative action of the law where I know it is done. And I invite you to help me anchor this truth by saying with me, and so it is. Yes. Yes, even right now. All right. And now we have our last song from Mark.
We arrive in holiness. We have the gift of life. And we can choose the way we live, in shadow or in light. And we have grown up in a culture filled with limit, filled with fear. We sacrifice our wellness to what they call career. And it's hard to feel the glory, and it's hard to touch the free, and it's hard to taste the moments, believing in dis-ease. I am much more, you are much more, we are much more, and we are so far beyond the form, we just don't know it. So don't you tell me that your wellness lies there in someone's hands. And don't you talk to me of limits. Speak only that I am. Our life on earth, it's not just a body, it is spirit and it is mind. So remember who you are, my friend. Remove illusions, bind. Stand up and look into the mirror and look deep into those eyes. Can you see all of eternity and see the oneness, the divine? All this is you, all this is me, and we are not here to make it through. We're here to soar beyond the grandest of our dreams. So get in the flow, right here, right now. Embrace the journey and make the vow to your well-being, to a whole new way, to renewal and improvement, to a state of excellence, and to the life beyond the standard, and to the life of resonance, of resonance. There are laws within this universe. These are laws that govern life. So remember who you are, my friend. To wellness we must align. I'm in the flow, right here, right now. Come on. Embrace the journey, make your vow, make your vow. My well-being, a whole new way, a whole new way, yeah, yeah. I'm in the flow, I'm in the flow, right here, right now, right here, right now. I'm on my journey, on my journey. I make my vow, I make my vow to my well-being, a whole new flow. I'm in the flow here right now. I'm on my journey. I make my vow to my well-being, to the whole new way. Yes. Yeah, we arrive in holiness. We have this gift of life, and we can choose the way we live, in shadow or in light. Yay. Stay well.
Woo!
The hands went
Give it up
wild.
for Mark Stanton Welch, everybody.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
Mark, I don't know that you can see all the comments, but you're getting a lot of love. People are so grateful for your music, and they're just feeling it. So, thank you again.
You are so welcome. And what a blessing to be here in such a powerful process. Magnificent the way the whole thing was delivered this morning. Well done for all that are involved. The beginning of
Yes.
many. Beginning
Yes.
of many. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for including me.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Mark.
It's now time for our gifts, tithes, and offerings. So if you haven't already done so, you can make your donation right here. I think there's a donate button, and there's also the center's homepage, cccsl.org. And there's a donate link right in the middle of that page, or you can click the donate button at the top of the page. But I invite you to please repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great work in the world
It does great work in the world
and returns to me multiplied abundantly.
and returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So thank you so much, beloveds, for your donations. This really helps us in having a center to go back to when the time comes. And now I invite you to please repeat after me. Oh, not yet. Won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always. And all that you ever need to do is look within. And it is here you will find that you are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my relationships.
Life is in my relationship.
Life is in my pocketbook.
Life is in my pocketbook.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I express it.
I express it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Woo! We'll see you on the Zoom call, my friends. We went a little over, but see you on the Zoom call. Gina has it here in the comments, or on this post, actually.
We
We love you. Blessings. Be well. Stay in the growth zone.